As part of a service, you always have a eulogy, and that's my job. So, he was born on December 1st in 1928, and he was born in Missoula, Montana, the eldest of 5 boys. And he passed away on December 5th, 2020. He grew up in Missoula, as I'm sure there are people here who remember, exploring the mountains with his brothers. He and his brother, Jim and Bill, would go up to the mountains. Grandma would pack a lunch for them, and they would just go off and explore all day until it was time for dinner to come home. They hiked, they climbed, they explored the mountains, and then when he grew up and he went to college at Park College near Kansas City, Missouri, where he met our mom. And they first worked as a maid and a chauffeur, a butler thing, for an older couple in Kansas City, Missouri. Then they moved to Chicago, and he attended McCormick Seminary, where he was studying to be a minister. And he soon found out that his real passion lay working with children. And so instead, he became a teacher in Chicago. His favorite grade to teach was 5th grade, and he began by teaching at Drummond School. And I remember going one time when I was, I don't know, maybe 5, I don't know. And my mom would play the piano, and he would have his class put on a play. And they always liked, the one I remember was Sound of Music, which was his favorite musical. And then he decided he would make more of an impact by being a principal. So he went to DePaul University for his master's degree, where he received a standing ovation. And I remember this, that they made him stand and wait before he came across the stage, and everybody stood up and clapped for him because he was in highest honors and everything. So anyway, he was a principal for the rest of his educational career, serving at 3 different inner city schools. And he had such a big heart for those inner city kids. He felt that if he didn't do it, who would, So he is survived by brother Jim of Libby and Doug and Ted. And his brother Bill passed away a few years ago. So he was so proud of his family and loved spending time with all of them. They lived in Palatine. We lived in Palatine. And we had 3 children. Alan, Nancy, I'm the middle, and Sharon. So anyway, he has 7 grandchildren and 8 great-grandchildren. He was a devoted husband, caring for his wife Eileen when she had Alzheimer's disease. And he was a wonderful example to all of us for love and devotion as he cared for her. He was an avid tennis player. He won many trophies and in local tournaments, and after he retired, he played tennis and table tennis in the Senior Olympics. And you can see all the medals that he won, and anybody can take one when they go today, if you please. Anyway, and there are 5 different states. He competed in Illinois, Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Idaho. And then he also competed in several of the National Senior Olympics. He loved spending summers at the family cabin at Flathead Lake. He especially enjoyed singing around the campfire, which we will do later tonight. His beautiful tenor voice, singing in harmony, made for some fun musical evenings. He also loved visiting Glacier National Park, and one year he hiked with Sharon and Jim up to Sperry Chalet. The people up at the chalet cheered when they made it up there. Now, as many of you know, our grandma always sent birthday cards to everyone in the family. She somehow always got it there on your birthday. And we don't know how she did that because we lived all over the country, but she did. But then, after she died, our dad felt that someone in the family should take this over, and so this became his birthday ministry. He not only sent birthday packets to everyone in our family, but to many people from our church and to friends from all over. And many times, those packets included pictures, devotions, $2 bills, and often a $1 gold coin, and a perfectly handwritten note to each person. And they always had stickers on the envelopes. Most of all, he was a man of great faith. He was a committed church member and always sang in the choir. He supported our mom with her organ playing, and when she became the organist at the Norwood Park Presbyterian Church, he sang in the choir. And this meant going into the city from our house in the suburbs on Wednesdays and early Sunday mornings. It was a wonderful choir experience. And after studying the Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren, he became born again. And he was baptized at the Crystal Lake campus of Willow Creek Community Church. And he further grew as a Christian by attending the Walk to Emmaus, sponsored by First Church Methodist. It's the First United Methodist Church of Crystal Lake, but they've changed their name, so it's First Church. Anyway, he always wore the cross he received at this retreat, and his commitment to God, his family, and the church was evident in all that he did. So, that's my dad. So.
Yay.
So how do you sum up being a son of 70 years for a dad who was 92? There's just so many things to talk about, so many things you could talk about, but I guess he was a great dad. He was a great dad for all of us, and we had a wonderful family. We took lots of vacations in the summer. We traveled a lot. And so I gained a real appreciation for nature and managing lands, and so I ended up working for the Forest Service, and they supported me in spirit and helped me also with college and so forth. Provided for us in so many ways, music, and spiritually, having a home where you go to church. That's what you do. You go to church. And yet, his spiritual life continued to grow. Even his last years. And so he taught us a lot about hard work and the importance of doing something that matters and doing it well. And then I think added to that would be improving as you go. Not being satisfied with who you are, what you are, but always striving to do better. And discipline was something he knew very well. He got to a place where he was doing thousands of sit-ups and push-ups in a day. And his brother still rows, does a lot of rowing. So yeah, a lot of discipline, a lot of dedication. So I guess just to sum it up again, doing what matters and doing it right, doing it well.
And how do I follow up after that, right? So, he loved every one of you, okay? He really did. And it was evident through his birthday cards and you're visiting with him at the lake. He just loved being with you. He loved family, he loved friends. And that love that love is continuing. So each of us still have a piece of him because we have a memory or something of that he has done, or all those the memories and he loved talking to people. He loved being with people. He always loved to have the family all together. This is his dream, to have all the family together. And but just know, we all have him still here with us because he's in each of us, And that is one of the gifts that he's given us, is the chance to all be together like this and to share his life and our experiences and the wonderful love of our family and friends. So we're just so thankful that you're all here. We are welcoming anybody who would like to say anything. Oh, we're going to do that later.
Okay, do that later.
We were going to do that. I thought we were going to do that.
Okay, all right.
So sorry. But anyway, so yeah. So if anybody has anything that they want to share, we're welcome. It would be wonderful, but if you don't, that's okay too.
You want us to come up there? Could we just stand up?
You can just stand up. That would be fine.
Or stay sitting. It's good.
Dad,
Okay, many of us older ones have received many $2 bills.
I sure have.
I think y'all remember that. But most important, this nice building right here. When Royal and I grew up, it was a little one-car garage that was set up as our cabin. And we would, Royal and I could be out here on the front porch, and people would have guys would come by and give us a bad time that night. But anyway. Little one-car garage. Wonderful.
A lot of memories.
He liked to roller skate too.
Oh, that's right.
He was good there in Missoula. He would put on the roller rink, roller skate a lot. And of course, we both worked at the service station. Dad at the service station at Six Higgins, and just worked for Dad. What a wonderful family. And then I see this. Wow. It's just it's precious.
Can I talk over here?
Sure.
Okay, so I just want to say that Uncle Royal has been so integral to my life. Everything with my faith, everything about family, bringing us together. The cards, the games of cards that we played and overplayed. It was so much fun. 1989, he bought a road trek van, which is a conversion van for those of you who don't know, that has the bed in it, the bathroom in it, the twin beds and everything. In 1999, in March, my mother died, and it was a really hard time. I don't know if that's what happened, but that summer then, Uncle Royal brought me aside and he said, I want to give you our van. So it was only 10 years old, and he said, I want this to be with your family. And I don't know if it's because these guys had too many kids or what happened, but I didn't put a gift horse in the mouth. It was just something really special for my family to bring our family together. And so we took that very gratefully, and the next summer we were able to make a road trip across the country to visit family, visit friends, visit amusement parks. That was our big goal. But then to come back to him and show him it's in great condition. It's still beautiful. And we have used it all the way up until last summer. This is the first summer we've not taken it out of winterization. But we have used it. And so this past year when he's been having a hard time and he was alone during COVID, I've been writing to him every week and sending him pictures with the van and pictures of things, the wildlife in Alaska and things like that. So I know we had a very special connection, but right now I even feel it more so than I did. I mean, he's with me every day and truly with me every day. So I just thank God that he put us here, put us together as family, and that we are family, and we are here. We have this place on the lake to be together. And really glad for the uncles that I still have and everybody else. But he was very, very special to many people, but deep in my heart. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, if you can't hear me, just wave at me and I'll try to talk louder. Being the wife of the only son was a little bit scary at first. You know, there's all these expectations for the son. And at first meeting, and I have to be honest, I met my in-laws 2 days before the wedding. It was very scary. And Dad met me with open arms and giant hug. And every time he'd see me, it was big hug. Didn't matter. He was the first one there to give me a hug. a few years ago, it was the year before Mom passed, I was privileged to travel with him for the summer so that he could play Olympics and I could help with Mom. I do have to tell you, this story was so cute. Mom was with the Alzheimer's, would just be very sedentary. She would be in a chair, and unless you moved her, she wasn't moving. And so she would exercise. He would turn on big band music and pick her up out of the chair, and they would dance all through the house. And even when we were staying in hotels, he would get her out in the hallway and he would hum or da-da-da big band music and dance her up and down the halls. He told me that their first date was a Sadie Hawkins dance. And that was their big thing, was dancing to big band music. And she would just look up at him and just smile from ear to ear. And they would just keep dancing. So it's a real treasured memory of the love. And I just don't even have words how much he loved.
Can I say something?
Sure. Yes, please.
Sure. So, I think that something that was cool about my grandpa is that when he loved somebody, he didn't just feel it, he showed you and he did stuff. Even if it was just him loving his cars and like waxing them at my parents' driveway on the weekend because they would come over every Sunday for lunch. I don't remember how old he was when he was washing the windows of our home, the 2-story home as an elderly gentleman. He didn't sit still much, but he was at every band concert, every play, every anything, and he always made a point of being there for us, and I think that was really special.
I'm going to tell a story about how he was perceived by members of our church. They met Royal and Eileen probably when Alzheimer's had taken her quite a ways, and their impression of him was all the love that he held for her, and they saw him as the ideal husband, the caregiver. Maybe other people wouldn't have been as loving and keeping her as close during her hardest times, but they never parted that way. And so he was an example of love. And another example was how he expanded his circle of family to include church members, in that he would find out their birthdays and include them in his birthday ministry. It wasn't just family members, it was people who he got to know. And it probably wouldn't be too long before he met you that he asked you your birthday. Why is he asking me my birthday? You'd find out on your birthday.
Well, we found out at the memorial service that not everybody got those $2 bills. They were like, people give me that. I didn't get a $2 bill. Anyway.
And they were always new and crisp.
They were.
Oh, yes, brand new, yes.
Well, I'm just the old neighbor down the road,
That's okay.
and we used to play ping pong a little bit. Like quite a bit. And 10 o'clock is the time we play. He'd be coming down the road, maybe having a little bit of a peanut butter sandwich with a banana. We had a great time, but the important thing about this whole operation playing ping pong, it's not ping pong, I learned the name is table tennis.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Anyway, we had some great time this year, appreciate it, thank you.
And we were lucky enough to be recipients of the birthday.
All right.
For years.
Well, thank you guys for welcoming the rest of the family to play some ping pong or table tennis over at your place. Enjoyed it very much. Still do.
It's a tradition now.
It is. Now it is. Absolutely.
Tomorrow at 10?
Well, I remember that even the last year he was here, which, you know, I mean, he wasn't moving so fast, but he was certainly going to go down there at 10 o'clock and play ping pong, you know.
Still beat me.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think I ever beat him. Not once. Not even when he was just standing there on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
He'd always get it back, no matter
Yeah.
what.
His wife could beat him though. Always. And I loved that. My tiny little 4 foot, however tall she was.
5'1.5".
I don't think she was 5'1.5" by the time I knew her very well.
What's on the agenda for today?
All right.
Wait,
well,
Oh, yeah.
Before we end, we have one more. So, all through the memorial service that we had in Illinois, certain people would stand up and say, oh, he loved music, he loved church, especially this one song, and then it wasn't in the program. So we're fixing that, okay? So, several of us have prepared, but you're welcome to join us.
Please do.
To close with the Lord bless you and keep you.
Yeah, use the.
There you go. Professional.
Some of us have it on our phones.
Very good.
One more time.
Gracious, gracious.